Here we are on another fitness podcast with Coach Rupert Wilson, and we've got Body by Holly, Holly Martin with us this week. I've obviously got a bit of a cool location that's helping with the extra fun on the podcast. So tell us, what you're a PT now, is that right?
Yeah.
And you were saying to me before that this has been like a new project of yours-ish.
I've only been doing it for about 2 years now, just over 2 years. But before that, I was doing it as a side thing. So I would train friends in the park and things like that. It wasn't a serious thing, and now it's my main job.
Yeah. Okay, good. And I've been watching some of your content. It's really good. And obviously, so you're working out of a gym.
Yeah.
And I see that you also make it it's your main go-to, is it, fitness, for yourself as well as for your clients?
Yeah, definitely. It was always my main go-to throughout my life, and now I'm just trying to share that with other people. And what I say to my clients is that we're all in the same thing together, in the same boat. Like, I'm training myself, I'm always working on myself the same way. I want to help them work on their self. So it's not like I'm the teacher there. Do you know what I mean? I sometimes even learn from them. Sometimes I train with them. We train together. We're all kind of in it together.
That's amazing. I mean, I obviously do CrossFit, so I like training with lots of people.
Yeah.
And that definitely helps you keep that motivation.
Yeah.
And then, so on motivation, without sort of going straight in for the third question, going a bit deep, but like some people maybe don't kind of get the way that we use fitness, if we use it in a similar way. Yeah. Like, how do you use fitness sometimes, to keep you motivated for other tasks and other adventures that you might have to go on?
So I would say how I use it is a discipline for me. So for me, it's like that structure, that discipline, doing hard things. If I can do something hard, or if I can push myself in the gym, I feel like I can push myself in anything I need to do. So that's what it is for me, is the hardness of it. And that motivates me. If I know I can do that, I just feel like I can do anything.
Sick. That's a good answer. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I have to use I use my fitness. I find that if I don't train in the morning before work or something, the day is always just a bit different.
Yeah.
And it's fine if it's like a casual, calm day and then you've not got a lot on. But I mean, it's great. Even if it's 15 to 20 minutes, half an hour workout in the morning, it kind of sets my whole day off for the right level. But I think, okay, so for example, we're talking to some different clients that we might have and things like that. How would you sort of get somebody motivated? If I was to be walk into your gym and I'm fresh, you can see I'm fresh, but I've got that fresh look in my eyes. I'm scared. I've probably got caught in the revolving door or something. Yeah. I don't know where the lockers are. How would you, maybe what's your kind of approach to and then also get me motivated? How do you get people signed up and kind of that?
Okay, so first of all, I'm really awkward at that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so bad at just approaching people. I find it awkward myself. I don't want to make them feel awkward. So usually I will just start off with a conversation, nothing to do with fitness, just hey, how you doing? How are you feeling today? What are you up to? What are you trying to do? And if they're I have no idea what to do, that's then I feel comfortable to be okay. Or sometimes they just don't, they want to do their own thing, and then I lead them to it. But usually, with most of the people in the gym, I'll just kind of start building a relationship with them in terms of just hey, from day to day, just say hi, how you doing? And then it builds from there. I'm not good at that sales thing of just right, did it, go for it. I'm just terrible at it. So that's how it usually starts. And then if they are interested, then we go and have a sit down and I really find out about them and then work out what is going to motivate them depending on whatever their goals are and things like that.
What do you do, say, for example, if somebody sort of struggles with a kind of their body image, there's a bit of shyness, but there's also just generally it's kind of a tough topic to bring up with someone you've literally just met and be so why are you at the gym? And they're because I want to get fit. And then you're okay, why do you want to get fit? And then they're because I maybe don't like the way I look in my dress or something, or for guys it's normally I've got little arms or something. I don't know. So how do you?
I was saying to you, how I was saying with we're all in it together. What I usually do is I try not to always reflect it back to me, but I do in a way of you know what, I felt that too. I feel that I have days like that, or try and make them realize that we all feel those things, because I think we do. We all feel that, even if you're a PT or not, you.
There's always someone with bigger arms.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
especially for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
And I think that's probably why most PTs got into it in the first place anyway, is because, you know, we want to feel good about ourselves, and like we've found something that makes us feel really good about ourselves. Like, we love training and it helps us in loads of ways, and then we want to help other people. So we've all been at that same place. So that's what I try and do. I'm also a bit, I don't know, I think I'm quite, I don't know if I want to say like goofy, or I'll make them feel comfortable, but
Yeah.
I'm happy to embarrass myself to make them feel more comfortable. So I just do things like that. I'll just say silly things. Like, my clients are always like, oh my God, you don't hold back. Like, you will say anything. And I do, because I just want them to feel comfortable. And that's who I am anyway. I'm not too, I get nervous about certain things. I definitely get nervous about things. But then when I'm in the moment, I don't know, I just
Yeah, same for me. Like, all
Yeah.
day I've been like, I woke up at 4 today, for example. That's part of my ADHD. Like, when I know I've got something on that day, and like I've got a plan for it, I mean, I might as well not sleep. Like, I woke up at 4, and then eventually, instead of fighting it, I was just like, I'm just going to get up. And I mean, there was a little lull in the afternoon when I had a decent Nando's with the cameraman, and I was like, that was the worst choice. I was like, now I'm going to fall asleep on the podcast. But no, I mean, obviously, I think some of the things is that often you find most confident people are masking something.
Yeah.
But equally, a little bit of masking goes a long way when you first start getting back into the gym or get to the gym for the first time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, without like making one of these little cheesy cut bits, like, I would say as much as you can do your meal prep and pack your bag, you know, you just got to sometimes just turn up with a bit of confidence and maybe be a bit goofy, or you know, like, there's no time to like always be like the big, like, especially in these gyms when they're packed. Like, I've had a lot of clients that'll just be like, I can't go.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, no, I mean, if you actually ask a lot of these people, they're probably just as nervous and waiting for the equipment as you are.
Yeah. That's something I always say to my clients. Like, everyone is in that same position. If you feel, you know, self-conscious about something, they probably feel self-conscious. Most people are there just worrying, is someone else looking at them? They're not looking at anyone else, you know? So everyone, yeah,
it's a tough one. It's a tough one. And I mean, I must say, when I was getting onto the socials, trying to really push all of that, I was watching your content, and I loved the way that you were like so casually able to do like Instagram live, like talk, you know.
I'm not
But you
casually
did it
able to do
before
that.
me. You did it like the couple of, you know. And I thought,
Did you didn't see my first one then,
No.
when I like went on and then just went cancel?
Oh,
Just
really?
like came off, and that was it. That was my first attempt.
Oh, my first attempt, of course, being a classic Rupert, I decided to go for a live podcast. Didn't think it through fully with 2 phones that were connected at the same time. And we just got caught in a massive feedback loop. And it was incredibly embarrassing while people are typing online, stop. Like, stop, the noise is so bad. And then obviously you can't see the comments. If you try and do it live like this, you would need a computer screen.
Oh my gosh.
So come on, like, let's talk a bit more about your workouts as well, because as much as I did not get the goofy side from you, your workout videos are nuts. You're like, you really train hard. You do a lot of different things. You work with quite a few different people, I think, as well. Like, I get a vibe like you either got some coaches or some friends that are coaches. You're always taking advice from different people. You know?
Yeah, I think, I guess the people that I work with, we often train together and stuff. The other PTs, we get on really well. So I train with them. Some of my friends are either PTs or into fitness, so I train with them too. But I think that's something actually I always wanted to try, and that's why I started doing the lives and stuff, because I wanted actually more of my personality to come across, because I don't think it does. Like you say, you didn't think I would be goofy or whatever. You see from my videos, you just see, because I guess a video doesn't show anything though, does it? It doesn't even show. Sometimes I think it doesn't even show actually how hard it is. Like, it doesn't show the background of, you know, you've woken up early, you've done your meal prep, you've sacrificed this, you've sacrificed that, it doesn't show that. It just shows you doing some deadlifts or doing some whatever. And I just think a workout video just does not show the background of everything. So that's why I did start to try to do the lives, but slow.
Yeah. No, they're really good. And so tell me, for like a kind of cheesy question, what would be your favorite 3 or 4 exercises?
Favorite 3 or 4.
If like you're on a desert island, you can only take three exercises with you.
Yeah. Okay. 3. It would be. It changes from time to time. It would have usually been a split squat.
Okay.
So split squat.
On what machine, or just with a bar?
No, you know what happens? So I usually do it with dumbbells.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like the one, I don't even know.
Oh, you mean like the complicated one?
I say different words. You know the one where you put like your foot?
Yeah.
One.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
one.
yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I don't think I even name stuff the right stuff. But yeah, that one's probably one of my favorites. But no, I do it with dumbbells, but actually I want to start doing it with a barbell and see how it goes. But that pull up.
Yeah, you like your pull-ups?
Maybe lat pull down.
Lat pull down?
Yeah, it was definitely always used to be lower body stuff, but now I'm enjoying my upper body at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What are your favorites?
Well, I mean, obviously with CrossFit, we do a lot of Olympic lifting. Yeah. So, I mean, pull-ups is something I'm still always working on, not like at sets of 10, you know?
No, me neither. No. But I like working at it.
Yeah. And then I, you know, like we do snatches. I like snatches. I like anything with like, something like ground to overhead. They're normally quick movements. But then, you know, you've got to put the work in on things like cardio, or for CrossFit, especially like cardio and running.
Was that the first thing you went into, was CrossFit, when you got into fitness? Or did you do a few other things before you found CrossFit?
Yeah, no. I mean, first thing I did was just join a normal gym. I just joined a David Lloyd. I was a chef. I hurt my back. And I got physio because like I really hurt my back. Yeah. I was in hospital at one point. Middle of service, I bent down to grab some tray and my back just went into full spasm. I hit the floor. I couldn't get up. I had to walk sideways, like literally like this, like into the hospital. They said
had you been feeling that coming along, or did it just came out of nowhere?
I think I tweaked it once or twice before, but it then obviously went really bad. And like, when you get to, when I got to hospital, so when I got to A&E the first time for hurting your back, right? Just be careful when you go to A&E and you say you've hurt your back quite badly and you're walking with a funny angle, because they normally then say to you, why don't you lay on the bed? And I'm like, yes, that would be lovely. I'd love to lay on the bed. And then they were like, now we'd like to do an examination. I was like, that's fine. Where's that examination? They were like, oh, we're going to stick a finger in your butt. And I'm like, and I'm not sure how that's linked to my back. They wanted to check I mean, I'm not a doctor and I can look it up and then insert, my editor will now edit the bits into it. So like, not fingers in butts, but he'll edit in the bit that's like, why you need to get that done. But so then from then on, I was very much like manage my back pain to myself. But no, so so then I got a physio, I hurt my back, got a physio and joined a David Lloyd. And I was like doing some random stuff. I think, you know, I mean, obviously when I was like...
Did you get a PT or did you just go in by yourself?
So I got a PT. But when I was like 19, you know, this was like, YouTube was barely, you know, there was like Men's Health magazine, Muscle Fitness, those sorts of magazines, So you'd like read the top 20 exercises and stuff like that. Most times, if you were like 19, you would just have like a pull-up bar in your room between the door frames, and you'd have some like those plastic dumbbells you get from Margos, and you'd have that classic set with the gold
you screw them
on. With the screw on the end, and the bar that's too short, and you'd just do like forever bicep curls, you know, no skill. And so then obviously I went to the gym, I'm watching these guys, and that's just that when I joined the gym the second time, that's when like Instagram, YouTube was starting to kick off, phones were getting better. And then I was watching these guys and I was like, damn, I'm probably not doing something right. Like, so then I spoke to a PT, and that's kind of how it set the whole PT journey off. Because I was a chef, so I worked like 65 hours a week, which we can talk about in a minute, because I know you're still probably working about like 60 hours a week. But I was really like 65 hours a week, miserable hours, in a hot, sweaty environment, unsimilar to a gym, but and then I was like, but I was speaking to my PT, I was like, so hold on, what do you do? He's like, well, I'm a PT. And I was like, obviously, yeah. But I was like, no, but how does it work? He's like, well, you do your level 3. I was like, okay, I'll look into that. And I Googled that. And I was like, and then what do you do? And he's like, well, then you like come to the gym and you like sell PT. And I was like, I'm not going to listen to any of that stuff. I'm just going to go do the course. So I did the PT level 3 course. You know, and then I just walked into a Virgin Active and was like, can I have a job, please? I passed my PT level 3. And they were like, and then I just bumped into my PT manager, and he just grilled me for 45 minutes. He was like, but why do you want to do it? I was like, I don't know. I want to help people. I like get bigger muscles.
Well, you did better than me because at least you got an interview. As when I started and I went to Virgin, they were like, "No, you've just passed your thing. Like, go away and come back in like 2 years."
Well, that's basically, I mean, I was very lucky. And then we had to do this room, like I had to do like a big brother thing. Like he was like, right, I'll let you come along for the tryout. And I was like, right. And then I got there and it was 12 people. And I was like, oh my God. Like, and we had to do like presentations in front of 12 people.
Really?
Yeah, I'd never done one PT session in my life. And and you know what, why he gave me the job? He said, you didn't stop talking for 45 minutes, which is hence probably why I do a podcast now. But no, he was like, whatever I asked you, you weren't going to give up.
Yeah. That actually does help with PT because there was a lot of that, in between sets where you just chat to your client and make them feel comfortable and all of that. So,
or you become a therapist.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is where the mental health aspect comes in.
Yeah.
But it is nice to always talk to people.
Yeah, no, it is definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm looking forward to it a lot more. Funnily enough, it's such a small world. My lovely, lovely cameraman said to me one time, right around when my daughter was born, and I'd left PT and I'd gone into sales and I'd got nicely fat. Like, I mean, I really, really topped it off with.
So how long were you doing the PT before you went into sales?
2 years.
Okay.
2 years. And then I went into sales and I just got fat. Like so fat. I was eating fish and chips on the way home from work with a couple of beers. For lunch, I would have chicken nuggets and chips at the pub, and I would eat.
But why was that? Was that because you didn't enjoy? Were you not in a good place in terms of like your work and stuff?
Yeah.
Or you just...
Yeah. I mean, I didn't probably realize I had ADHD fully. I mean, and I didn't realize that sometimes with ADHD, you can eat your way through dopamine. Okay. So whereas if you don't have any dopamine, you can eat your dopamine. Oh. So by eating sugar and food and stuff like that, it gives you hits of dopamine. So then you become addicted to food without realizing it.
Okay.
But also, I think at a certain point from lifting heavy weights and eating really big, you kind of can fall into a really negative relationship with food and just be like, oh, I can eat big and not lift big. So I'm just going to eat big to get big. And I got really fat. And then, I mean, I've got some of the footage, insert now, of me from back then going to CrossFit for the first time with this guy over here, says to me, come down to my CrossFit gym. I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And I mean, I'm still known for the guy that dies at the beginning, aren't I? But I mean, I died a lot. I die a lot. I generally, if you come down, which I'd love it for you to come down, you'll see me just laying on the floor, dying within 5 minutes.
That's what I think of with CrossFit, to be honest. Huh? That's all I think of with CrossFit is that you're going to die. In a good way. Yeah. That's how I think. I don't think you could leave a CrossFit session and not be dead.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine. I've not done a lot of CrossFit though.
Well, I think I think it'll be next on your list.
Yeah. No,
I saw you the other day. You were posting like, oh, you like train at some different gyms, and you were like, oh, I needed new motivation, and you like, great video. Like honestly, like you're like you comes across with this sort of like, that actual like. Sometimes that's the energy you need when you've got stuff going on in your head. And like exactly when I left and went into sales, if I just maintained, like sometimes in the hardest times. When you're having hard times, if you just stick to the basics, just turn up.
Just turn up, exactly.
The rest of it, don't worry about your weighing every day. Don't worry about your body image. Okay, you're a little bit heavier, but if you just keep turning up, then you can slowly start making those changes. Yeah. But as soon as you turn your back on it, you don't. You don't know when you'll end up back. Sometimes you could slip.
Yeah. Definitely.
But your video the other day, you came back with some real like power. I remember, and you said some cool caption like, I needed to get back into this or something like.
Yeah.
And you double down, a bit like David Goggins. You kind of double down, like you don't just double down means like when you're like you ever play poker?
Oh yeah.
Double down means you don't go half in, you go double down. So you put double. That's a phrase now. I'm mad. Yeah. It means you put double in.
Before. I've heard double down, but I didn't know what it meant to be honest.
Right. It just means you're going double in. So you're like, instead of me like, okay, I'm going to rewrite my program. I'm going to give myself a upper lower split. Yeah. You were like, right, I need something that's going to stop my brain from talking to me.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So you're like, right, I'm going to push this sled through that wall and then see if the wall asked if I had an opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
And so so. So how's your fitness journey then?
What, from the start?
Yeah, why not?
So from the start, let me see. Like, so school days, I just love sport, like team sports and stuff.
What were your sports?
Football, hockey. Hockey was my main one. That was definitely my
Field
favorite.
hockey.
Yeah. Astro. Yeah. Field
Astro
hockey.
hockey.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not ice hockey for any Americans that will ever
Field
listen to
hockey,
this. Field hockey.
Yeah. Hockey, tennis. Hockey and tennis, I think, were my two favorites. Netball, I just did it because any sport you could get out of doing lessons, I did. So yeah, sport was a thing. And then it wasn't probably until I got to maybe like 19 when I kind of realized gym, like, because before it was always team sports. Then I joined a gym. I definitely, now I haven't got that much like footage from back then. I've got a couple of videos, and when I look at them, I mean, my form, I thought I sort of knew what I was doing. I didn't. My form is terrible when I look back. But I just started I was one of those typical class goers, just go to all the classes, do loads of cardio, doing those, in the classes where you have like a tiny 2.5 or something on each side. And I thought I'm doing weights there, and that was, good. So I did that for a while, and then ended up actually meeting a guy at the gym who was into fitness as well. Our relationship grew on fitness, and he actually then did the course to be a PT, and I really encouraged him in that. I was like, yeah, go for it, So he started doing that, and he was doing that throughout our relationship. And then so he would always like train me, push me. He showed me a lot of stuff, and then then I started to get into more like proper weights, stopped going to the classes, and started to just actually have I gave myself a proper training split, and started to actually program it and stuff. I would say that was probably about 10 years ago that I properly started doing the weights. And then since then, I've definitely had like ups and downs, gone through phases where I've been training, but then if you were to look at me, probably wouldn't look in shape, because I've just been maybe eating through my whatever emotions I'm going through at a certain time. But I've always trained, so I've always been active, but haven't always necessarily been in shape, if that makes sense.
Right.
So definitely been through a few phases like that. That was just, things going on in life. And then probably in the last 5 years, I say I've got to a point where I feel really just like comfortable in myself and things like that. And I felt really kind of steady since then, whereas before it was a lot of up and down.
Yeah. And a lot of people, it is funny when you see stuff on Instagram, and obviously I think most people that want to show good content will try and give the full story.
Yeah.
But even then, when you give the full story, you still got those mates who are like a bit out of shape, and they, and you say to them like, anytime you want to come to the gym, I'll get you in for free, come with me, blah, blah. And they just don't believe, like, I think they still think that even though you get to a certain stage, they, like where we're at, they think, oh, that's just impossible.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they won't even start.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of my friends said it's easier to tell yourself a white lie than to like actually hear like the hard truth.
Yeah.
So it's easier just to say, I could do that, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whereas actually the hard truth is like, okay, I'm afraid to do it, and I probably need to start doing it now.
Yeah. I think that's why I struggle a little bit with the online, like with the content stuff, because you are putting yourself out there to a lot of people, and everyone does receive it differently. Even though you feel like you're putting something positive out there, everyone, like for instance, I have a friend, and she even like openly said to me, you know what, I've I don't know, not unfollow, but where you can't see the content coming up on your page.
Yeah.
She said, I don't see it because it makes me feel bad about myself.
Your content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And she's not,
It's tough.
It's just how she feels about herself. And then you can start questioning yourself about what you put up. But then the more you question yourself, you're never going to get anything out there, and you're never going to be true to yourself because you're trying to please everyone. So I have struggled with that, I think, in terms of the content creating, because I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to make anyone feel, and it's hard to try and get it right.
It is hard to get it right. And it's also hard to like pitch it, why should I bother doing it if I don't have like 3.5 million followers and I'm not like taking steroids or something like that.
You know what, that part actually doesn't bother me.
Like,
no? No, not really.
The taking steroids part, or the 3.5 million followers?
Either. Like I'm not really, to be honest, I'm not there trying to get 1 million followers.
Yeah.
I think if I can get, especially even like I was saying to you, trying to do online, you don't need that many people online to get, have a good enough income. And I think if I can get across to, 20 people, like at the moment in the gym, I've got 20 clients and they're all like, that's enough for me in the gym. I don't need to have, millions of clients, but online it would be good to get more. But I mean, I just think if you can get across to that many people and help that many people, and if we could all help that many people, I think that's enough.
That is a really good way to
Because I don't think I'm ever going to be the right person or help everyone. It's not possible.
No.
So
then really like more of an optimistic one then, rather than talk, it's like, what does the future maybe hold? Like, so what could you challenge yourself to for the rest of this year or for next year?
So my dream is to have my own gym, kind of a studio, not necessarily a gym where you go in and do your own thing. So I want to have a space where you're either coming because you're going to do a class or you're going to come for PT. And they're going, like, there's one girl who comes up to me in classes and she's like, I've been here for a year, nothing's changed. She comes, I see her every morning there at the gym, and I want to help. And I do try and give her advice on certain things, but you can't help everyone. When you're at the gym, or like if I'm training a client, and I see someone doing something wrong, I can't just go over and help them. So what I want for this studio is to have something where you're coming and you're going to have a structured plan. You're either going to come to a class or you're going to have a PT with a food plan and things like that. So you come in and you're definitely going to get something out of it, but it's going to be affordable. So not the same. There'll be like different price brackets and stuff. So different, either maybe group training, one-to-one, different things. I also want to have a creche in there.
Okay.
I want to have a food spot. I want it to be like a community thing. So this is like my dream that I've always had, because there's so many mums as well that they can't train because they've got their kids at home. It's obviously something that hopefully in the near future for me, I'll be have kids too. So it's all of that. I want to make something that for the community, you can have it all in one place. Your food's there, your kids can be there, you're training, all of that. So that's my dream. That's why I'm building up.
Sounds
towards.
awesome.
Yeah. So I guess that's why the online isn't my be all and end all, because that's what I want to do. And I know that's not going to be, that doesn't need to be worldwide or anything. It's just going to be in my community. But obviously online is helpful. There's no point putting a cap on anything. So.
Yeah, and I don't also think that like, even you can still be online and still be local.
Yeah, exactly.
You can be online local, because that way they can still meet up with you.
Yeah.
But they don't have to meet you every week for a session.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of bits about like PT sessions that do struggle in comparison to like an online thing. Mm-hmm. Like when you have kids or when you have a busy life, it can be really struggle to get to those PT sessions. And then if your PT can't cancel it or move it for you continually, which we always do try and do, because it's, we're not just going to like say, oh, you can't make it, I'm going to charge you, you know? Obviously try and move people's diaries around. Yeah. But you know what it's like when you're trying to pack in 25 hours a week, 30 hours a week, you haven't got many slots left within those key times people can train around work,
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
And so I think that, it's fantastic to be able to meet your trainer, have that time with them and be there face to face or, Zoom or whatever, have those proper check-ins. And it is great to have corrections made to your form, like proper like sessions as well. Yeah. But I think, I do think that you can still, the online bit as well as local, that's just keeping that motivation, keeping that going. Yeah. And, and it equally keeps, like one of the clips I posted today about another guy I spoke to who does boxing classes. We were talking about how you got to wake up sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning, have some breakfast, get to the gym for 6, or you get up at 5, get there at 6. You feel like you need 5 coffees, but then as soon as that class starts and you see everyone else's energy, you suddenly get a massive buzz from it. So I definitely think that like more and more that lockdown's over and stuff like that, PTs want to be face to face. And I think that's kind of why I like the podcast. Because it's not just about like making a reel that lasts 18 seconds and shows you like the last 5 years of my hard effort to be able to do that one muscle up that I still can't do. Like it didn't show you the 5 years to get there. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think a gym would be amazing. I think a gym would be amazing, and that's If you can pull that off, I'll definitely come down.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, that's the plan. So maybe not next year, but in the next couple of years.
Yeah? Yeah. That's a lot of thinking as well. Yeah. It's a lot of business-like stuff to do about that. Yeah. But yeah, no, that'd be super fun. And then any other, have you got any other, you haven't signed up for a marathon?
You know what? I haven't actually at the moment, but I want to have something that I'm working towards. So I need to think of what it's going to be. I have done the marathon before. I've done the London Marathon. Yeah.
The real one. I mean, only because they did that one where you don't get a spot, but you can run with the marathon, but you run around your area. Did you hear about that?
Oh, no, I didn't actually.
Oh, no, yeah. It's kind of like a virtual, but you're still in it, but you're not in it.
Oh,
but you did it, the full one through London.
This is a while ago though. Maybe, I can't remember now, 7 years ago.
And was it a good decision?
Yeah.
Did it hurt?
I was annoyed. I trained for it for a couple of months, and then 2 weeks before, I really hurt my knee, and then I had to.
You fell down the stairs, or what?
No, like I think just the repetitive, the running, all of the training. It just, it went, and then so I just didn't run So then it was 2 weeks till the race. So I just thought, right, just totally rest it, because I literally couldn't run on it. It was so painful. So I rested it, iced it for 2 weeks, and then on the day just thought, right, let's just give it a try. Yeah. And actually, it was okay until mile 20, and then the last couple of miles, like the last 3 miles, were just like agony.
Really?
But other than that, like,
was it in the mind?
Adrenaline is what got me to mile 20.
Yeah.
And then
you hit that big 20 and just went, was that the furthest you'd run was 20, or had you done a full one before?
I don't think I'd done a full one, no. I think I remember running for I started getting up to a point where I was running for 3 hours straight. I remember that's kind of what I was doing. And my goal was that I'd really wanted to do it in, I think it was between 3.5, 3 hours 45. That was my goal. But I didn't make it. 4 hours is what I did in the end. But I blame my knee.
That's fast. That's fast though, isn't it? Pretty sure that's fast, isn't it?
4 hours is
that's what he's gunning. He's
average.
gunning for sub 3:30.
Which that is good. 4 hours is average. I'd say I was average. But no, 3.5 would be great.
Yeah, 4 hours is obviously great, but you said 3:30, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a similar number you were going for.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get before my knee.
I mean, well then that's a good. I mean, it sounds like you should be going sub 3 then.
Why? Why should he automatically be doing better than me?
No, I don't know. But because he just does it. He always gives me fake numbers and sandbags it. Yeah, it's because he knows that I can't even go running with him for longer than an hour. I offered to go cycle next to him. How nice was that? I said I would cycle next to him for 4 hours.
Nice.
But we haven't managed to pull it off.
Have you actually signed up to one then yet? Yeah. Which one are you doing? Next April?
No. It's just a random event. In 3 weeks.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's like 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Oh shit! I thought you said April. Sorry, I misheard you.
Dorney Lake in Windsor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did it a year ago. Didn't train very well. Ended at a terrible time of 4 hours 40. I wanted to get sub 4.
Yeah.
And just decided recently that I'll give it a go.
So have you been training this time? No.
A little bit. Yeah. More so. Not this week, but next week I'll pick it back up again. But I'm doing all right. I'm on target. So
okay, nice. But do you generally train anyway? Like you're fit and active?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's a builder and he does CrossFit like 5 times a week.
Oh, okay.
So he's also trying to do marathon training on top of 3 sessions of CrossFit a week.
Okay.
So it got to the point the other day where he couldn't walk, but he still had to go run for 2.5 hours from doing back squats.
Oh wow.
What was it? Single leg lunges. Yeah. But I mean, that is, you've got to give yourself something to kind of challenge for.
Yeah, I think high rocks is something that I've been interested in.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a high rocks, but we'll see. I've just been keep getting injuries at the moment. It's a bit frustrating. So I keep I felt like I was in a really good place and I got this injury and now I'm just trying to get back from that. But
have you tried ice baths, the plunging thing? Have you done all that?
I put ice on it, but I haven't actually done an ice bath.
Oh, yeah, you should give it a go. Yeah. I mean, it can't hurt.
No, it can't.
Yeah, I got an ice wheelie bin.
Did you? What? Just a normal wheelie bin?
I bought a wheelie bin off Amazon. It's hard to get the last bit of water out before you can tip it over, but... no, I will eventually do an actual video on how I think it's a good idea once I finish.
How often have you got in your wheelie bin?
3 times. 3 times.
Where is it? Just out on your driveway?
It's so cold. Sorry. It's so cold. I got up to it and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Tell you what though,
that is actually, you have to be careful.
Yeah, no, I did it. And then I jumped out, but I'm going to tell you what, that is the best shot of my abs I've ever had in my life. I think all the fat on my stomach just sort of retreated to my brain to keep me warm. And then I suddenly had abs for 3.5 seconds until my body went back out of shock. But no, it is something I need to again, it's just another classic thing, isn't it? Everyone on Instagram has got an ice bath, so you're like, right, I'm going to try it out. And then you're like, this is just not fun. Like, I'm not really sure. But no, I did one. I think the reason why I stopped doing it was I did one and I had COVID, but I didn't know I had COVID.
When you got in the ice bath?
Yeah. And then I don't know if we were chatting, but anyway, I then had to go get a blood test and I had to drive somewhere. And I was like, I'm feeling really sketchy. And I was like, really cold, like super cold, like my feet were like. And
How long were you in it for?
Oh, you know, like
seconds.
25 seconds. My legs are in it.
What is the recommended time you're supposed to sit in one? Or is it just as long as you can?
3 minutes,
up to
2 minutes, a minute, minutes. Yeah, not seconds. It had real ice in it though.
I think after it's that first second, so it's when it feels the worst. Then you just numb, I guess.
Yeah.
And then so you just got to get past that first barrier.
Yeah, and then so I was like driving, and I literally just thought I was like. Anyway, it just basically, it turned out it was COVID. But it's kind of scary that you then think, you in your brain, you thought, oh, it's the ice bath that's done it. But it not giving me COVID. But I thought all of the panic attacks I was having and the heat and the fainting, I thought all of that was to do from the ice bath. But it was just the rapid onset of COVID by putting my body...
Which was made even more rapid by the ice bath.
By the shock, by the massive shock. And then, I mean, other than that, I mean, I had an injury in my knee and I was quite big on icing and swimming because that obviously loosens up the joint.
Yeah, that helped me with my knee.
But again, and then I had some injections and it worked quite well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, backed off running for like 8 weeks and then had the injections. And that was quite scary-ish if people are put off by procedures. Yeah. But no, it was pretty good. It seems to work, touch wood.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to a guy and got, have you heard of Tuina? It's a type of...
No. No, I'm just like...
Weird.
No, I mean,
really
I don't know.
It's just a type of, it's a massage, but it's basically, it's like acupuncture, but instead of with needles, it's touching pressure points with your hands. So I had that on my knee and then some heat therapy, and that was after the marathon actually, when I had literally never had problems with it since. Like, I swear by this guy now. Like, all my clients, I send them to him. I'm like, if you've got any problems, go to this guy. He's literally like magic hands. So yeah, my knee, he fixed that. So I should probably go to him for my groin, but it's actually getting better.
I have to try that out.
Yeah.
I may have got myself like a mystery hernia as well.
Oh, my brother thinks he's got a hernia at the moment. Well, you have one right now?
No. Oh. It's a mystery. It's for another time. It's a much longer story that I'm not going to go into on the camera today. It's for another time. It feels like a hernia. It didn't look like a hernia. There was nothing there, but it was in that area. And when I went to the physio, and he's like, no, you've just like pulled some muscles in that area, and it feels really bad, but it will go away. And it's just frustrating because you're like right in the middle of like enjoying your training, doing lots of stuff, and then you're like, right, can't do any sit-ups, any toes to bar, can't do any running, can't do mostly anything involving your core.
It comes, and it always comes when you're at your kind of peak with it, doesn't it? Always something. Yeah.
I mean, I like the way that you still manage to post like walking, saying you're going to the gym after you've been on film set all day. Like it takes a bit of effort to do that. You know, I don't do that. Yeah, I'm rubbish at doing those lives. I'll organize a whole podcast because it's controllable. But I'm not like, you know, I wouldn't say I live and breathe motivation every day. Would you say I'm more like live and breathe insults and like rudeness? No, he's not.
I'm definitely the opposite in the way of organization. Well, like planning a thing will put me off of it. I'm much more like, okay, just do it. Like when you asked me to do this, I was like, didn't think any more of it in terms of, because I don't think ahead with things. I just do it on the moment. So then today I was like, fuck, I've got to do the podcast thing and then feel nervous and then think, oh shit, now I've got to do it. So that's why, like, if I do that live or not live, just like talking on the thing, I haven't thought that I'm going to do it. Something just pops in my mind and I'll do it. And then I feel comfortable. But if it was like a planned thing, not so good with that.
And so then how would you then convert that? So agreed, I think most people with ADHD or whatever don't like, but for your clients, how do you keep them motivated? And what would be your top tips for keeping yourself motivated or keeping them motivated?
So I think for me, it boils down to mental health a lot. Like it boils down to, if I'm not training, I'm not going to feel that good about like I'm going to start feeling down. I'm going to start feeling a bit negative. I'm just going to not feel my best. And I don't want to feel that way. And I know I want to like have some control of that. So for me, I know I have to do it. It's not really a choice thing. I have to do it. So there's definitely times where I don't, and I will get in a funk, but then I'll give myself like a rule of it. This is only going to last 2 days. It can't go on for more than that. Then I've got to get in the gym, whatever it is. I have to at least go there, turn up, and then you usually end up surprising yourself, don't you? So for me, it's that. It's just like, there's no if or buts. I have to do that to feel good. So
yeah,
it's just, no excuses. Just get it done.
Good. And then what about like your day-to-day routine? Do you have any like tips on how to, like what helps you keep it easy? Like you obviously have a gym bag.
I think that's what it is. It's just having a routine.
Right.
And like I say, again, I don't always stick to it. Like I'm not meal prepping every weekend. I'm not always, but those times when I don't have a great week. And so I'm like, okay, why did I not do that? But sometimes you just decide, you know what, I don't want to do that this week. I just want to chill out, or I want to, and I'll sacrifice that, maybe, having the best week for this chill out. So it depends. But I know that usually if I'm organized, if I've got a routine, I'm going to feel good. So for me, it's the food prep. It's like, or at least doing my food shop, getting the food in. So I've got it in the house. So it's food. It's just making sure like all of my clothes are like clean and washed. Like I'm not a neat freak, but I have to be in a tidy space. Like this room is so nice because it's just, everything is tidy and you feel relaxed, don't you, when you're in a tidy space. So first thing I have to do, I have to have my house tidy if I'm going to have a good week. So I'll tidy up, make sure everything's, I've got my clothes for the week, plan out my session so I know what I'm training on what day. And it's just that, really, just having those few things in place that I wake up and I don't have to think about it. It's just like, it's going to happen because that's what I've planned to happen. I just make sure I don't let anything get in the way of it. Like something I always say to my clients, like plan it around what is going to work for you. So if you're not a morning person, don't plan you're going to go to the gym in the morning because that's probably not going to happen. So things like that, just trying to, you learn yourself and then you work out what is going to work for you. So,
and what is your favorite sort of meal prep food? What do you always like?
I can be so boring with food. I can eat the same thing over and over. If I like it, I like it, and I can eat that all the time.
Or if I don't like it, but it's good, I can eat it all the time.
What do you mean if you don't like it, but it's good? Oh, good for you?
Well, no, but like if it's like
oh, like it just works.
I mean, you wouldn't.
Like
I mean, I'm classic for some really random ones. Yesterday, I ate those Heck chicken burgers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had Heck chicken sausage for breakfast.
Yeah,
today.
with like the sweet carrot and sweet mash and vegetables. I mean, it was all the packaging was beige and all the food was beige. And I mean, I was like, fine. It was just big food though. Because I knew I could eat the whole thing. Yeah. And it wouldn't be like, but yeah, so go on, like what's your...
I guess it's things that can heat up nicely because I don't like cold food.
Oh, okay.
I'm not good at eating cold food that's meant to be hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like bolognese, just simple like bolognese. I do that all the time. I do this, like people probably think this is disgusting and it looks disgusting. Like, when I usually video like my food, this is the one I never video because it looks like sick, but it's really nice. It's just tuna, like tinned tuna.
I knew you were going to, I was literally going to put 5 pounds and you were going to say tuna. I was like, it's starting with tuna. Right?
Yeah, it's just tuna like onions and garlic, peppers, whatever you've got in the fridge, really, like fry them all up, add the tuna, little bit of flour, because then that will make like the sauce a bit thicker, then put in boiling water and stock. And that's it, make a kind of tuna gravy basically, and I'll have that with either pasta or rice or... it doesn't sound nice, does it? It's so nice. I guess you've got to like tuna. Do you like tuna?
I mean, yeah. Sorry, I do, but like, I'm also was a chef, and I mean, that just sounds really... Okay.
Honestly, I promise you it's actually good.
Because there is a fish thing, which is, I think, called a beignet or something like that, which is like you make...
I've heard of beignet, but I don't know what it is.
I don't think it's fish, no. Okay, so maybe there's a thing where you like would mix it together, add the flour, and then make it into like a little fish cake, and then you'd fry that. But I've never had anyone just skip the middle stage and go for fish gravy. Like, I will say I will try it.
If I come to your
I'll have to see
CrossFit gym, I'm going to bring you a little meal with this tuna thing. It genuinely is
and
good.
What do you eat it with, sorry?
With rice or pasta.
Okay.
But it heats up really
flavor,
well. And it has got flavour if you put enough stock in it.
Stock? What stock is it? Veg stock?
No, chicken stock.
Chicken stock. I love it. Just fish and chicken. Okay, I mean, look, I'll eat anything and I'll try anything. I think the next time I do another round of things, I want to do some cooking ones. Yeah, I mean, look, my wife obviously, like, she looks at some of the stuff that I eat, and I'm very happy with, like, I'll cook my 2 or 3 meals for the week if I'm really trying to hit my diet. It'll be a massive thing of mince, loads of cooked chicken.
Yeah.
And then, like, chicken sausages, or I'll eat pork mince. And it's very much the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like literally the same thing. It's chicken with peppers and spice, or mince with peppers and spice.
Yeah.
Or beef with peppers and spice. Pork, and then I'll eat that either with rice. I actually do really quite like the carrot and swede mix, like with mashed potato. But then we were talking about this because he's obviously training for the marathon. So we were suddenly looking at carbs in a different way. We were really trying to, like, find carb heavy foods, which I've never had to do before, which is quite a nice way to learn about carbs.
Yeah.
And we found out that potatoes weren't really actually rocking as much carbs as you think.
Okay. Well, they're definitely not. Like, carbs is a huge thing that I always try. Like, so many people, don't you find so many people think, oh, carbs is what make you fat?
Yeah.
And it's like,
not all the sweets you eat while you're at work, it's the carbs that you eat.
Yeah. And it's that so, like, that is definitely something that I would just love to, like, that is a myth that I just want to get out there, like, get people to realize that it's not the carbs. But carbs don't make you fat, like potato, all of that stuff. Because a lot of my clients say to me, I say, like, how are you going with your food? Like, oh yeah, I'm doing really well, I'm not eating any carbs at the moment. And I'm like, that's not doing really well. Like, that is, you don't need to avoid those things.
But normally what they end up doing is they don't eat carbs, and then they eat really high fat, high sugar food. And they don't realize the sugar is carbs. Yeah. So, and then they'll be like, oh, I haven't had lunch today. I just had, something completely, I can't think of it right now, something completely random. And you're like, no, that's not really the best choice. Yeah. But, and then, I mean, I'm quite good at eating food cold, but that's because maybe back in my days at Virgin, or when I was a chef, I'll just eat any food if it's in front of me. But, oh no, you made me think of something really fun. What's your favourite cheats though?
Pizza is one of my favorites. Yeah. Pizza, definitely. I'm definitely a savory person, so I would always go for, like, I'll have 2 meals rather than have a meal and a dessert. Yeah. So just pizza. What else? Macaroni cheese. Love macaroni cheese. Yeah.
Do you know
but I wouldn't say, like, I found, like, probably when I first started out training, I didn't have the best relationship with food. Luckily, I've never had, real issues with food. I can never say, like, I've had an eating disorder or anything like that. I've been lucky enough not to. But I definitely didn't have the best relationship with food in terms of I didn't understand food and how it worked. And I used to think, diets worked, or I've done that lemon juice thing. And, I did all of those silly things. And I definitely used to have cheat days, and I'd be like, right, I'm going to have a cheat day or a cheat weekend or whatever. And then I'll be back to it and I'll be on my thing. Whereas now I will eat pizza when I feel like having pizza. Obviously I don't have it all the time, and I know I have to restrict it to an extent, but I never feel like I'm having cheat days anymore, because I definitely give myself more of the time, and it's helped me to not feel so restrictive, and I don't ever feel hungry, and I feel like now I have a way better relationship with food since looking at it in a different way, if that makes sense.
Yes, I do totally I do totally agree with you on that. I would obviously also be like, oh, I can't have bread, I can't have Nutella, like, and then I realized that actually some of my workouts in the morning, I was like dropping them out because I didn't have enough fuel to do the workout. So then I was like, well, hold on, I can actually eat like little pancakes with Nutella on it. Yeah. As long as I don't like then eat crap for the rest of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like making decisions about having your carbs before your workouts and around those areas. Yeah. But then honestly, when you work in an office and like you try and do fitness as well, you don't realize through the day how much crap gets thrown at you. Yeah. Somebody's birthday, somebody this, somebody that. Yeah. And then also the other one is alcohol. Now, I don't have a problem with people drinking. I don't have a problem with alcohol. I was a very big drinker myself. But you don't realize that it also stops you from making the right food choices, and then also just all that extra calories. But yeah, it's a tough one, diet. I really do think it is a proper tough one. My cheat one though was ice cream.
Okay.
So I'm still writing the book. It's not finished yet, but it will be called The Ice Cream Diet.
Okay.
How to lose 5 kilos by eating ice cream.
What, have you done it?
I mean, I did all right. I lost a few kilos.
This is what, just ice cream, that's
Not
it?
just ice cream, but 90% of my diet would be ice cream.
He's
laughing because he knows how bad it got at one point.
What flavour? What's your flavour?
At the moment, it's Soleros.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
which ones? Because they have this new one. Have you tried the new one?
No.
It's like white chocolate. Or
No, that's Magnus.
No, it is
Soleros.
No. Oh, the orange on the outside, ice cream on the
fruit
inside.
one, yeah.
No, but I swear Solero have got this new thing.
No.
Maybe it is Magnum.
No, it's Magnum. It's horrible. I've had it. It's like mango and something with white chocolate. It sounds like your tuna thing.
Oh, I always thought that was Solero.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, Soleros are good, but so you're not like a chocolate ice cream type of thing.
I was. I mean, straight up, where ice cream was just my thing. Like I just. Do you know what it is? And this is another thing that fitness people do talk about. It's high volume foods with low calories. So like I still have that big eater in me, and I find that like if you can give your clients high volume foods with low calories, high protein. So did you ever have total Greek yogurt with protein powder in it? Farge yogurt? I would eat. That's another classic one. You make like the chocolate smoothie pudding. Yeah, that's a classic one. Yeah. That's brilliant for your clients. Honestly, I think.
But wait, are we talking about ice cream is in this as well?
No, that's kind of how I then. That's what I meant to eat. If I wanted to get a 6-pack, which I can't get, I would stop eating ice cream and I would eat just that.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, but no.
I thought you knew something that I didn't know, that apparently ice cream is one of those
low
calorie.
It depends. He's just shaking his head. He's like, no. No, I mean, if you have a bad relationship with food, I think I would probably rather like eat a tub of ice cream than eat a tub of macaroni and cheese. Okay. But anyway, look, the book's not finished yet. It's not an official science. It's more of a bro science at the moment. I'm still testing it out. So we covered food, covered lots of things, motivation and good routine for the week. So generally, if people want to find you, where do they find you? Not physically find you.
Well, I am at Pure Gym in Woolwich, but no, Instagram. My Instagram is Body by Holly, so you can find me on there. I've got a website as well, but I would say Instagram is probably where I put most of my stuff.
Yeah, and it's easy to get in contact with you.
Yeah.
And your website is cool. It's very clear and it's easy to follow. So amazing talking to you. Thank you so much for coming down. I'm glad we got it done. And see you all next time. And at least try and get to the gym, have some fun, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much. Bye.